Culbertson. You may recognize me as the host of Things of Nature, but now take a walk with me as we do the nature of things. Everyday household objects. Every day they're in your house. But do you really know the story behind these objects? Let's take a first example, as we now refer to it as, couch. Couches actually used to be living creatures that roam the earth, hence the mouth feature, which you can still see vestigially as the best predators that roamed the nature land and ate things like people. Yes. That's putting the ouch in couch.
Hi, I'm John Grass. I'm the expert on everything couch related. Couches and couches. Everything about couches. Now see, right here we have a brown couch. This is a perfect example of a couch from over there, you know? So let me demonstrate how modern day people like to sit on couches in victory. It's a triumphant act, you know? With assert our dominance over these creatures that we slay. So people like to just sit down, get comfortable with their items, the things on them right here, and then we just kind of show our victory on these couches and triumph stuff. Yeah.
Ever since the dawn of written history, we have written. Now we write on the internet, we write on Word documents, and we write on paper. But before paper, we used to write on blankets. Now, a brief etymology of the word blank, meaning without words, et, meaning small, blanket, small without words. And but for all of time, reading and writing has been incredibly boring, so people would often fall asleep while reading or writing, and then would wrap themselves up in their paper or blankets. And eventually, we started selling wordless blankets, which were soon replaced with patterns. And then we added pillows, which are goat intestines, originally. Now they're filled with some kind of other animal byproduct. Let's watch the... It was ancient Egypt, when all the cool things were invented. Here we have a blanket being written on by poor slave children, who at the time were being called poor slave children. You may wonder, why slaves writing? That's because the ancient Egyptians were wise enough to know that reading and writing both sucked, so they made their slaves do it. It wasn't until later that people pretended like reading and writing were so cool. Anyways, they used to write with their hands, but it was part of an ancient ritual, so in order to get prepared and psyched for writing new stories, they used to lick the wall. They used to lick the nearest wall. By licking the nearest wall,
Wait.
They would be prepared.
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
Ah, he did it! Blankets were humanity's main form of writing for ages, including the Middle Ages. At which time they stopped licking walls, unfortunately, and they stopped writing with their hands, but instead started writing with their butts. Now, here's 10 quick things you didn't know about your kitchen. Spoons, failed forks. Cups, part of a telephone. Sinks, the ocean. Knives, used to be children's toys. Raisins, grapes. Hot water heater, cold water unheater. Malfunction. Rice used to only be for weddings. Refrigerator, a reinvention of the refrigerator. Freezer? I don't know actually. Oh, I have a freezer expert.
So, I am the freezer expert. As we now know, the refrigerator was the original invention that would keep our food cold. But since cold air rises, it was open on top, and the cold air would escape into the entire house, causing no need for a refrigerator. So we created freezers to trap all that cold air and keep our food cold.
Chairs used to be desks. We were much shorter in the past. Tables, uncomfortable beds. Ceilings, extra floor. Delicious. Being a thing historian, I often like to talk about Walter Water, who, of course, was the inventor of water. But in his time, he invented many other things used to capture and sell his water, because at the time, he didn't think that the Earth, which at the time was entirely land, would be willing to give up 70% of their landmass and dedicate it to something called the ocean. Hence my reference before when I said the sink used to be an ocean. So, he created things such as the sink, which of course is a water transferring device, the cup, the bowl, the umbrella, which used to be for capturing water, but has since been turned quite literally on its head. But that's just the nature of progress. To Walter. You might be wondering, how could you come up with so many accurate things about things in such a short period of time? It's actually because the history of things is actually quite short. Only 50-odd years. It's only a few years younger than the history of time, actually, which is only 60 years old. Anyways, here to talk about it is this gentleman, Doug Owens things. So, Doug, please impart on us your wisdom.
Hi, Chris. My name is Doug Owens Things. I'm the inventor of things. You know, this, that, those, everything. When I first invented things, I was really impressed with myself because it was just so great. You know, things are things. They're stuff. Those, that, this, me. I'm a thing. He's a thing. You're a thing. Using a thing to view me through a thing. You know, it's just crazy. I made those things. Can you believe that? That's what I did. I'm really proud of it. I'm gonna say probably my best invention was stuff. Though stuff is everywhere. It is things. Comes from things. Things from stuff. Just wow, right? Wow. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, and what better way to wrap up
Things.
the nature of things with the inventor of things himself, Doug Owens things. Thank you.
Thank me.
Until next time, remember, what you're sitting on might be a dead animal carcass.
That's awesome.